You are about to listen to the words of Fethullah Gulen, a distinguished Islamic scholar and thinker. In this podcast, you will hear his essay, Devoted to the Truth, Part 2.
Souls devoted to the truth possess a heavenly profundity. They have abstracted themselves from physicality and pushed aside their animal side. They behold the entire existence, and for that matter, beyond existence, through the mirror of the heart and spirit. They always feel the all-truth in the depths of their soul. Their pulse beats with love and ardent longing for Him. Their thoughts are tremulous with a concern about failing to keep their course. They maintain their humility with a sense of awe before divine majesty. The devoted souls are distant from worldly attachments and concerns. Their sole relation to the world and everything in it is with regard to seeing things as His works. They live constantly imbued with knowledge of God, marifa. Their attitude and state of being are permeated with awe and reverence before God's grandeur, which is so deeply ingrained in their character traits that the dwellers of heaven behold them in admiration. Actually, these are the very points that elevate them to the same level with the highest of the high, the paragons of virtue. The poet Akif put this as follows: "It is neither knowledge nor conscience that elevates character. It is reverence to God that evokes the sense of virtue in people." This profundity of their connection with Him means they constantly breathe with contentment and peace the breezes of divine grace, and they virtually feel they are in a shelter of providence and guardianship all the time. In response to such sincere feelings for Him, the Almighty Protector protects them too, as He did with the great guides of the past. The Almighty reminded the Sultan of Prophets, Muhammad, peace be upon him, of the fact that those He took under His protection are His favorite servants with the verse, "And do not drive away any of those who solely seek God's good pleasure and call upon their Lord day and night." God wishes they be guarded too, as He guards over those who devote themselves to the truth, who present a different profundity every moment with their deep devotions and worship, whose faces are ever turned to Him, who open up to Him all the time, and who ache to gain His good pleasure. How can it be otherwise while munificence is His comportment, and being faithful is His unchanging divine disposition? As a requirement of being fully oriented to Him, the fortunate ones who turn their backs to the pomp of both worlds are those who constantly overflow with love and sigh with longing. They lead a life in the footsteps of the companions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, along the course of Bilal, in the climb of Habab, in admiration of Yasir and Sumaya, and in the shade of Ibn Masud. God will view those fortunate ones who turned away from both worlds accordingly, for He is the one of ultimate mercy, ultimate munificence, and ultimate compassion. If they have rooted the world out of their hearts, then the one of ultimate affection, munificence, and compassion will never leave them halfway. In fact, besides this immense providence and guardianship of God, there are certain prominent figures in our time, similar to those with dead hearts in the prophet's era of light. These figures will not tolerate the mere presence of the godly souls who have nothing to do with worldliness. They will perpetrate unheard of atrocities against them, continually devising certain devilish projects, and by trampling on law and justice to seize everything the latter has, they will commit the most wicked oppression. With a dignified resignation and self-possession, like Prophet Job, Ayub had devotees of service to God will dismiss it by saying, "God had given all in our possession, and God has taken them back." Thus they will change the lane and move forward, as they are currently doing. They chose this path with an awareness of encountering such things anyway. They knew that as it happened, the unpurified souls open to evil suggestions by Satan and the carnal soul will continue to harm today as they did yesterday. They will pester the heroes of revival who wish to uphold human and spiritual values, and they will try to destroy the most benevolent things by causing so much pain. Besides, masses of hundreds of thousands with no consciousness will participate in these efforts of the devil and his henchmen. To the shameful pages of history fouled by tyrant pharaohs, new dark pages will be added, and the cycle of historical recurrences will once more rend hearts. As it happened in the past and will continue to do so today and tomorrow, new tyrants will come to the stage and will regard every means as fair for the sake of reaching their wicked ends. With a Machiavellian understanding, they will commit their condemned acts and will even outdo earlier tyrants. Their acts will lead to concentric, vicious circles of problems, and thus humanity will once more go through an era of pharaohs and oppressors. What falls on the heroes of revival before this set of alarming pictures is to proceed in the direction of their own horizons and leave everything to the extra and special graces of God in compliance with the divine statements that indicate His guardianship. So leave them plunging about in play and amusement until the day of judgment which they have been promised, or so leave them to me. Let the others keep walking on zigzagging dust paths. Resolute heroes of the path of truth should run to eliminate obstacles between every human and God and help them open their consciences to Him, for their consciences are where His self-disclosure occurs, and they should put an end to the few centuries-long separation from Him. It is in this way that essential rights and freedoms will become an indispensable factor for the public conscience. Breezes of love and respect will start to blow everywhere, and dissension and discord will come to an end. Ways leading to an ideal social, economic, and administrative structure as pictured in utopias will be opened, and the whole land will gain a condition that is enviable, trusted, cozy, and like paradise. It will be like paradise in spite of the crude souls devoid of compassion and beneficence who set war against fresh springs. The swelling dawns of those bright days have already begun to appear. The next, one hopes, is that these dawns to be recognized and duly understood in the public conscience. A worldwide acceptance and understanding for those devoted to truth is beginning to be seen, and this flows into unbiased bosoms as brilliant rays of light and brings relief to those who do care about tomorrow. The rest of the issue remains to how much endeavor we show to turn to God completely, not falling to stagnancy on the path being walked and being able to comprehend events with their dimensions visible and invisible to our eyes. Once this is ensured, light will once more win over darkness. Let us end with words from the late poet Akif. The days promised to you by God will appear. Who knows, maybe tomorrow or maybe even sooner.
You have just listened to the words of Fethullah Gulen, brought to life through an AI-generated voice. Known for his teachings on faith, interfaith dialogue, peace, and education, Mr. Gulen also inspired the Hizmet movement, a global initiative that promotes democracy, human rights, equality, and nonviolence. To learn more about Fethullah Gulen and the Hizmet movement, visit fethullahgulen.org.